we are going to go on to our history of the week for our special Thursday event. 이번 주에 우리가 알아볼 역사는 임꺽정입니다. This week we are going to learn about 임꺽정. 걱정하지 말고 임꺽정에 대해 알아봅시다. 임꺽정은 조선시대 홍길동, 창길산과 함께 조선의 3대 도적으로 뽑히는 인물입니다. 세대겠죠? 먹고 살기 힘든 시기였던 만큼 도적들은 많았지만 임꺽정처럼 나라의 군대와 싸워서 이겼을 뿐만 아니라 거의 한 나라를 뒤집어 엎을 만큼 영향력을 뿜냈던 도적은 거의 유일하다고 봐도 될 정도입니다. 부자에게서 돈을 빼서 백성에게 나눠주었다는 이야기가 있어 위로운 도적, 위적으로도 불리고는 하는데 이는 사실과는 다릅니다. 근데 저희가 먼저 어떻게 할까요? 노래 아니죠? 아니죠, 그렇죠? 그럼 계속 합시다. 길동 and 장길산. Though, so 임꺽정 was actually considered one of the three great outlaws of the Joseon era, along with 홍길동 and 장길산. That's what those three people had in common. Though there were many outlaws at the time due to the harsh living conditions, 임꺽정 was almost unique in that he not only fought and defeated the national army, but he also had so much influence that he could almost overthrow the country. There are stories that he stole from the rich to give to the poor, like a Korean Robin Hood, which has led some to call him a righteous bandit. However, this description may not be entirely accurate. 임꺽정은 16세기 조선시대에서 태어난 백정 출신이에요. 백정이란 백성 중에서도 천한 일을 하는 사람들을 말하는데 당시에는 짐승을 도축하는 일이나 생활도구를 만드는 일을 했죠. 임꺽정도 처음부터 나쁜 짓을 일삼았던 것은 아니었습니다. 그렇게 된 계기는 1555년 일본이 전라도를 침략해서 약탈을 일삼았던 을묘외변 때부터였습니다. 임꺽정 was born in the 16th century during the Joseon era and was born of a peasant origin. The term peasant or 백정 in Korean referred to those who were at the bottom rung of society, and they often worked on menial tasks like slaughtering animals or crafting household tools. 임꺽정 was not initially involved in criminal activities. His turning point was in 1555 during the 을묘외변 when Japan invaded the Jeolla province and plundered it. 임꺽정은 이 전투에 참전해서 큰 공을 세웠지만 백정이라는 신분 때문에 상은 없다며 무시를 당했고 그것에 대한 분노가 임꺽정을 도적의 길로 이끌었다고 해요. 이런 불만이 조선 곳곳에 퍼져 있던 터라 임꺽정의 뜻에 따르는 사람들이 많았고 임꺽정의 세력은 그 크기를 빠른 속도로 불려나갔죠. He participated in the battle and he made significant contributions. But because he was of a peasant status, he was completely snubbed instead of being rewarded for his actions. Because of this neglect, he was fueled with rage, and this led him down the path of becoming an outlaw. Given the widespread discontent in Joseon at the time, many people rallied behind 임꺽정, and his influence expanded rapidly. 임꺽정은 자신이 활동하는 지역의 관리들을 살해하고 약탈하는 등의 악행을 부렸는데요. 여기서 임꺽정이 의적이라는 오해가 생겨납니다. 그냥 자신의 이익을 위해 한 일인데 관리로 인해 고통받던 사람들은 그 관리를 임꺽정이 대신 죽여주었으니 그것만으로도 고마워했다는 데에서 오해가 생긴 거죠. 임꺽정 was involved in various criminal activities such as assassinating local administrators and looting. But this is where the misconception formed that he was a righteous bandit. These were actually acts carried out for his own benefit, but because people who were suffering under those administrators were so grateful that those administrators were eliminated, this misconception started to arise. Now, we're going to continue this story right after a quick song break. 낙인 by 임재범. 여러분, welcome back to 한국어천재, where we are talking about the history of the week, a very special person known as 임꺽정, not 걱정, 임꺽정, a very special person indeed. Let's continue on with the story. 이렇게 세력을 불려나가던 임꺽정은 결국 조선 정부의 눈에도 무시할 수 없게 됐고 왕은 500명의 병사를 보내 임꺽정을 잡으라고 명령했습니다. 하지만 임꺽정은 이 병사들을 무찌르고 말까지 뺏는 무서움을 보였고 결국 왕은 인근 5개 지역의 다른 업무는 다 제끼고 임꺽정을 잡는 데 집중하라고 직접 명령할 정도였습니다. 와. So, eventually, 임꺽정 became too powerful for the Joseon government to ignore. The king eventually sent 500 soldiers to go and capture 임꺽정. However, he was just too strong. He defeated this entire army and even stole their horses, prompting the king to issue a direct order for 5 nearby regions to halt everything they're doing and to focus solely on capturing 임꺽정. 백정 출신인데도 힘이 세고 머리가 똑똑해서 눈 덮인 산에서 군인들에게 쫓기자 일부러 신발을 거꾸로 신어서 발자국을 남겨서 군인들이 헷갈려 길을 잃고 헤매게 만들기도 했다고 해요. 하지만 결국 나쁜 짓을 하는 사람은 끝이 안 좋기 마련이죠. 1561년 9월 7일 평안도에서 잡힌 임꺽정은 결국 처형당합니다. Despite being of peasant origin, 임꺽정 was strong and very intelligent, to the point where when he was pursued by soldiers in a snow-covered mountain, he would deliberately wear his shoes backwards to leave misleading footprints, causing the soldiers to lose their way. However, bad deeds usually lead to bad ends. On September 7, 1561, he was captured in Pyongan province and eventually executed. 이 과정에서도 힘이 얼마나 장사인지가 나오는데요. 임꺽정을 잡을 당시 아무런 무기를 가지고 있지 않았는데도 임꺽정은 자신을 도망가지 못하게 붙들고 있는 병사의 팔을 잡아당겼고 병사의 팔이 뼈가 빠져 늘어났다는 기록까지 있습니다. 조선 역사 기록은 이런 사소한 것까지 남겨둬서 좀 신기하지 않아요? Even throughout this entire process, 임꺽정's strength was absolutely ridiculous. When he was captured, he had no weapons on his body. A soldier tried to immobilize him by grabbing his arm, but 임꺽정 showed his strength and he pulled the soldier's arm so hard that it was dislocated. This is kind of some fun facts that Joseon historians would actually record this sort of information. 당시 조선 왕조실록을 보면 기록을 작성하는 사관은 임꺽정을 희대의 흉악범으로 묘사하고 있지만 그와 동시에 임꺽정 같은 도적이 날뛸 수 있는 것도 타 나라의 정치가 올바르지 못하기 때문이라고도 적었어요. 실록은 아무도 볼 수도 말할 수도 없었기 때문에 이런 자유로운 표현이 가능했죠. 그 기록 덕분에 우리가 이런 재미있는 역사도 알게 되고 말이죠. The chronicles of the Joseon dynasty depict 임꺽정 as a notorious criminal. However, The scribes also wrote that the rise of such an outlaw was partly due to the country's flawed governance. These records were not public, allowing for these records to be so frank in their expressions. Thanks to these records, though, in 2023, we have the opportunity to learn about this fantastic and fascinating history. We're going to go to a song, and after the song, we'll go on to the answer to our quiz. Let's listen to Rolling in the Deep by Adele.